First, I just want to know the cat's name real quick.
Yes.
What is the cat's
we need
Callie.
to know.
Callie.
Callie?
I used to have a cat named Callie.
No!
Damn.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Like, it was a calico, and I just named it Callie. Oh my, that's crazy.
We're so, what's the word?
Like Gemini twins. Like, what is this?
Are you Gemini?
No.
I am Cancer Gemini rising.
Okay, but like if you were,
That would have been freaky deaky.
that'd be cool.
However, I can't play any musical instruments to save my life, so we're good.
Oh.
So we're good?
As far as like freaky twin things. We're not
that is pretty. We're like 3 for 3 right now.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
Right. Well, let's keep this going. We'll see what else comes out during this interview.
Okay, well, Callie already likes the energy.
Excellent.
We're glad that Callie has come to join us. And welcome back, everyone. We have many guests here today. And one guest in particular who will do all the speaking, we hope, whose name sounds as cool as her music. Welcome, Tangelene Bolton. She was the music composer for Warrior Nun, and we are so excited to talk to you and your cat that has also decided to be interviewed by us.
Hey, we love to interview kitties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Callie is here as well.
Yes.
Thank you all for having me. I'm so pumped for this interview, and so is Callie.
Yes, Callie. We're gonna pick your brain.
Yes. So what is it like living with a bunch of instruments? And do you like the instruments, Callie?
Which one's your favorite?
Callie. You know, the thing with Callie is I know the music's good when she's like passed out and like snoring.
Puts her into cat naps.
Yeah, like when she's sleeping in a deep sleep, I'm like, oh, thank God. I think I'm good with this cue. I can move on. She's asleep.
She's the judge of the music.
Yeah, the quality control.
She
Love
is.
it.
I mean, she's a very musical cat.
That's awesome.
It gets very.
See, I know my singing in the shower is bad when my cat is sitting there meowing at me to stop.
Quality control.
It's all about contrast. No.
So to the actual question.
Back to
just
you,
thank you for your amazing work on Warrior Nun. Everyone is familiar with the job of an actor, but the behind-the-scenes world is a bit of a mystery to our audience and the people watching the show. So what does being a music composer for TV entail?
Well, it's pretty much taking care of all the underscore, all the background music that you hear on screen, with exception of the licensed songs. So the licensed songs are normally taken care of by the music supervisor. And for me, for score specifically, I'm usually, watching each scene and applying, like any notes or themes we've talked about in meetings to what we're seeing on screen. So I'm pretty much handcrafting the music to what you see on screen.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm sure you all knew a little bit about that, but it's still fun to talk about.
Absolutely. And other people, we really just want other people to know like what you do and how you do it, so they have a better idea of how their favorite shows, get made.
Yeah, and it's fun too, because if the composer's brought on early enough, which I was for Warrior Nun, season 2, we get to, sometimes read the scripts, which is a really fun process to be a part of, because sometimes you can see like the different versions and then start coming up with some like musical ideas early. And then there were times where I even sent some of the music to the editors, which was fun because while they're still editing, they could like put it in and see like what scenes it worked with, so that, when we had our spotting sessions, we can easily just tackle that right off the bat and be like, is this working? Do we love it? What do we want more of? How can we push certain emotions more? It's a lot of fun.
Well, you certainly push my emotions because I listen to the season 2 score when I'm trying to get stuff done.
Trying to get stuff done? Does it help you get stuff done? I hope
does.
It helps you get stuff done.
It does.
maybe the accent stuff.
Well, it puts me in like a good it puts me in like a really good like space where, you know, my ADHD is perfectly balanced. So
got it.
So yeah, thanks for that.
Well, but, I'm glad it's helping you get stuff done and not instead of not get stuff done.
Exactly. I could be sleeping like Callie.
She's being so good though.
She is. It's because she knows there's some cat energy in the interview.
Yeah.
So, how did you become a music composer and how did you get started in the entertainment industry? Because it has to be like a hard industry to break into, and you've done some huge projects.
Well, it's definitely been a long process. I started playing the piano when I was like 2 or 3, and then eventually did classical piano. I was really into it, and I was also really into film as well. So I did go to Berklee College of Music for film scoring. So that was definitely like a good starting point for getting some training. And then I eventually moved to LA. A friend had gotten me an opportunity to interview with Hans Zimmer's company. You know, I didn't know, you know, what would happen, but I was eventually like offered an internship, which I took. And then after that internship, I was like, what am I going to do? So I like worked for a yoga studio for a while, kept my, you know, I still kept my hopes high. And then I was eventually hired back as like a general studio assistant for like closer to 2 years. And yeah, then I got sort of the chance to work for another composer who was working there at the time, who I had developed a cool relationship with through like bringing him coffee, doing some sit-ins with him, watching him work. And this took a while. Like I would say it took about 1.5 years before I felt like he trusted me to start working for him, because I was still pretty new in the industry. So I'm so grateful that he took a chance on me. His name is Bobby Tahori. He was doing a lot of games at the time, like Tomb Raider. And yeah, I learned a lot of my technical chops from him, especially because he'd worked for a lot of people like Ramin Djawadi, who did, you know, Game of Thrones, Heitor Pereira, Despicable Me, and a few other people. So he really took a chance on me at the time when not a lot of women specifically were getting the chance to be in those spaces. So yeah, I got my technical chops really high, and he was so cool because he let me still do a lot of like short films on the side. So I made a lot of those relationships with filmmakers early on to try to like craft my sound, figure out like what's my sound. And then, yeah, things just kept rolling along. I eventually got like a Sundance fellowship opportunity, and then a couple Disney shorts, and things just, you know, kept going along. And then I eventually landed Warrior Nun, and where we're at now. I'm just grateful for, yeah, all the opportunities and people who took chances on me.
That's awesome. And by the way, I almost wore my Berklee hat, so
Berklee hat?
Yeah, did you I almost. Yeah, no. It's a like
we're getting 5 for 5 now.
It was my mom's hat, and so I stole it from her, and it's my writing hat that I write in.
Oh, you're a writer.
Mm-hmm. But it's crazy that I almost wore it, and then I was like, it doesn't match.
I mean, what is matching nowadays, right?
That's
matching
true. I should have just done it
next time.
Next time.
But I'm wondering, is this Berklee in Northern California? Because I'm talking about Berklee in Boston. There's 2 different ones.
Oh.
Yeah, there's 2 different ones. There's Berklee College of Music in Boston, and it's spelled like Berkeley with 2 E's. So it's kind of
okay. No, different Berklee. So we're good.
Oh, that's
so cool. Though.
I only know the one with 2 E's.
Oh, really? Yeah, there's Berklee in it's Northern California.
Well, I was born in San Diego, so it stands to reason that you and I know the different Berkleys, Kaitlynn.
Oh yeah, Totally opposite.
That still would have been cool though.
Still, yeah.
So the music and the score in TV shows is so important for the audience to understand the story that's going on. What tactics do you use to evoke the intended emotions from the audience?
You mean like what do you mean by tactics? Like what kind of techniques
Like,
do I use?
yeah. Like, how do you make so like there's some music that like can make people feel sad. So like how do you use that to get the audience to really feel like they are experiencing what's going on?
That's a cool question. I would say it depends. It depends on what's going on screen. Because okay, for example, Ava's Fall, the track Ava's Fall. There's a lot going on screen, and there's like a lot of emotion happening at that moment. So a good example is actually the mix, the dub mix. So if we had been pushing that music really, really loud, it would have been totally overpowering that scene. So I think a cool technique with pushing the right amount of emotion is also definitely in the mix. So making sure that's a good level where we're hearing that emotion, but it's not pushing too much on us. It's not influencing us to the point where we're noticing it too much. And I think the same goes with composing too. If there's a certain emotion we want to push, we don't want it like blaring loud the whole time, right? We want to have, some ebbs and flows to it so that we're kind of like sculpting around the emotion, sculpting around the scene. Yeah, you hear like, oh, wow, she got out. I was like, how did my cat open the door right now? Because that was definitely closed. Okay, she's learning new skills. Yeah, because I heard her. I was like, oh no, she wants to go out, and she just opened that door. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Callie's talented.
Callie's very talented.
She's very talented. But yeah, as I was saying, you definitely want those ebbs and flows to kind of sculpt around the emotions because yeah, when we're all having a specific feeling, it's not just one level. There's many phases to that. And another example is when B and Ava, I'm like B and Ava, when B and Ava are sort of fighting in that apartment in episode 1.
The gay apartment, yes.
I know. Let's have a whole spinoff.
I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, when they're fighting, and then there's like the moment where they sit down on the couch. There's like a pause, and it gets a little more simple in the instrumentation. We hear more of the piano, and then we have another pause when we get the bad news about Mary's, and then it kind of crescendos again with different instrumentation. So it's definitely all about those ebbs and flows and switching up the instrumentation to also bring us in new directions.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites is We Lost Mary.
Yeah, so sad.
So sad.
Yeah,
I do not accept that she's dead. She's alive.
I know. It's hard to
accept
alive.
It. I'm just saying, she is alive. Like, it's just
okay, fact. You said
it. Oh no, we still can't hear Thea.
I said no body, no crime.
Exactly.
So, okay, you've kind of touched on this a little bit, but how does the score in general like impact a visual project like a TV show or a movie?
Well, I mean, I kind of covered a lot, I guess, with the emotional aspect to it, but I think a cool part about scoring is you can kind of inform the viewer of things that might be happening behind the scenes that might not quite be reflective on screen just yet. I think that's a fun thing to do is sort of add a tone behind everything. to just evoke maybe like an ominous feeling. I tried to do that for like age reels, followers, FBC. Just whenever you see them around, just adding like an ominous tone. Or even there are a couple scenes with Miguel slash Michael where I have his theme with Jillian. They kind of have a theme together. Sometimes I'd sprinkle that in a couple moments before they finally like meet and embrace. So whether or not the audience really knows that, it might psychologically be getting in there somehow. So I think that's the fun part about scoring is you can kind of sneak things in there that can maybe go in like the audience's subconscious and they might not even realize.
So it's like you're like, haha, I know what's gonna happen next. You have a lot of power.
This is why I wanted to talk to you, because the cool stuff like that.
I think that is actually an interesting thing because yeah, you could technically easily sneak things in and like tell no one.
Totally.
Like I don't even know if Simon knew a couple of those things. Like
you were
like for like I mean Michael and Jillian. I mean not like it's not like I was spoiling anything and it was just like a couple minor moments. But yeah, things like that. That's a very interesting. I guess they have more power than I thought.
It adds like continuity to it also.
Yeah, it does.
Feel like the score to the overall story.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, kind of finding a way to make everything cohesive, especially in TV because it's such a long process and you want to like bring the audience on this journey so you have a lot of time and space to play with. So that's why I personally love TV. But
absolutely,
these shows need to keep on going, not getting
Yeah, we get it.
We just filmed an episode about this.
We want 5 seasons of your scoring.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Me too. But I can't believe how incredible you all are. The billboard. Can we just talk about the billboard?
Let us talk about it.
That is. I am like.
Oh, have you seen it like in person? It's in LA, isn't it?
I wanted to go today. I'm hoping to go like in the next week. I have to catch it before it's gone. I mean,
yeah. You should take a picture and then post it, and then everyone will circulate even more.
Yeah. I definitely want to take a photo of that. Like, when does that happen? It's so rare that, like, I don't think has that ever happened before?
Yes. When we were in Motherland, the Motherland fandom. Motherland.
The Wilds did it.
The Wilds did it.
The OA
all the way back in Clexa, like from the 100, I believe. It's kind of like the playbook for saving shows is one of them is billboards, but it's not, it's just one of those things where, I mean, and that's not the only thing planned. There are like poetry gatherings that they're planning and like all sorts of stuff that group is. Yeah,
I didn't
it's
realize
pretty cool.
I didn't realize it happened for Motherland for Salem too.
Yep.
And then they got a season 3, right? It was after that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, I was super deep in that one with the folks planning all of the stuff. So, I mean, we had like billboard trucks outside of Hulu and things of that nature.
I'm so impressed. It's pretty incredible.
Hey,
thank you all.
Don't mess with the queers.
Yeah, don't mess.
We will gather and.
It is a testament to the project. It was very inspirational and touched a lot of people. So
absolutely,
thank you for your part in making this a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we're just putting the good thoughts out there. That's all we can do
absolutely.
Right now.
There's a chance, you never know.
Yeah.
So, going back to the music, you talked about a theme with Michael and Jillian, and I've noticed a lot in scores that there'd be like this character's theme. What is the importance of that theme and like continuing to hear like the same sound basically throughout a series.
Mm-hmm. Well, for their theme specifically, I definitely wanted to have that mother-son relationship. But, ooh, did you hear my cat? Okay, she screamed.
I heard that.
Yeah, you can mute that if you'd like, or keep it. So yeah, I wanted to
much in this podcast.
Yeah. Oh man. I wanted to have that theme between them to just to signify the mother-son relationship and just to also have that sorrowness to it, because you just feel so bad for Jillian. I mean, like how much she's like put into keeping her son alive, and then she's gone through so much. She loses her son, she finds her son again, and then just the end. It's just brutal for them. So I wanted to make sure I had something that signified their love together, but also having like hints of kind of the other side in it. I use this synth called the Moog Grandmother to have kind of like a little bit of a sonic synthy element in the background tying things together. And I also ran it through tape, so you have kind of this hiss sound to it that kind of evokes like, you know, past, present, future. I kind of wanted like an old feel to it, but also with the synths to kind of have a futuristic feel to it too.
It worked. It was cool.
It's very clever.
It's very, yeah, I love it. So we heard that you were a fan of Warrior Nun in season 1. What was it like to get to work on a show that you already knew?
It was awesome. And when Simon told me he wanted to hire me, when we had like a Zoom meeting, I screamed, and then I was like, oh, why did I? And I remember I was like, why did I do that? Because, you know, you have like a professional project and you want to like try to be professional. So I screamed, and then right away I started asking him, like, can you please give me spoilers? Like, I want to know a few. I just started asking him, and he was so cool. He gave me some of those, and he told me about.
What did you want to know?
I mean, like, what's the relationship?
Oh,
like, yeah, because
right to the point.
Yeah, I had to know, and because I was trying to ask without asking, and I was like, so is there any like specific themes you want? And he was like, well, there's a relationship element with Ava, and I definitely like want to push. I'm like, what kind of relationship? And he was like,
who is it with?
I mean, like we both knew, and he was like, Ava and Beatrice, and then I definitely screamed again. So I was excited.
All of this is relatable.
And then you got to write a theme for them.
Yes, dream.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, but he said, you know, I want you to write a theme, but I want it to be like something that progresses slowly. Like, I don't want you to just like make it obvious, which is cool, because I feel like a lot of times people try to push a narrative too much, and to like have time with that. And that's why season 3 would be so perfect, because then we could go like full force with Beatrice. I mean, we don't know what would happen in season 3, but there's so much to play with.
Gay.
The story is definitely
just gay.
Just gay.
You said it. But yeah, I mean, there's so much to, I don't know, there's still so many unanswered questions, and the story doesn't feel, don't we know it? But the story's not over, so we all feel like there really needs to be season 3.
Yeah, we know Ava's back already, so
I know
we need to know.
What's her "I'm Back" theme song? Like, come on!
I know.
Seriously, Ava's return.
Ava's return. Well, I'm curious about Beatrice. Like, what is Beatrice?
Yes, what is she doing? What do you think Beatrice is doing? Do you have any theories?
I don't know, but I really do hope that Beatrice is like gonna do something for herself for a little bit, at least for a little bit. Yes. I feel like she deserves it. She's like so selfless, and I would love to see her living her life, at least for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Agree.
She needs
Which
some
she's
her
kind of
time.
doing, which she's kind of doing in real life right now. Which is
Yeah.
kind of crazy how, but I mean, like, in terms of the show. So I really do want to know, like, what is she doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But going back to season 2, the season that we do have. The music in general was just absolutely incredible. We honestly can't tell you enough, and we do really mean that sincerely, and want to thank you for that. But what is your process like, kind of for composing like season 2? Like, what was the process for that besides like immediately asking Simon spoiler questions?
Yeah,
because it seems to start there.
Sure. Well, I mean, I was on board pretty early, which was awesome. So I did have scripts to read, so that was a great starting point because I was kind of able to get in the minds of these characters. Um, it was it was really fun reading like just Ava and Beatrice's relationship and how that kind of grew really nicely in season 2. And Lilith, reading her on paper was really cool too, along with Adriel. Just, I mean, Adriel goes nuts in season 2 as well. So I'd be putting together my palette of instruments. I wanted to keep things pretty orchestral and have choir elements, but also like infusing some synths that have like a warm quality to, to add that like fantasy element. And then I just like handpicked a bunch of instruments that I knew I wanted. That kind of transformed through season 2. Like as I was scoring to picture 2, I would kind of add little instruments here and there that I felt was really like reflecting what we were seeing on screen. But it was fun, like coming up with some concepts and ideas early on and going about my days. I will say that a lot of the score was written really late at night / like early in the morning.
All right.
For some reason, that was like when I was most creative. I don't know if it was like demon hours or something, like 3 or 4
from the other side, right?
I don't know, but like 3 or 4 in the morning was like when things would hit. And like something I have to mention too is sometimes it can be pretty hard to like properly be creative during the day because as like a composer, we're always getting tons of emails too all day and like meetings. So a lot of your day is also taken up by those things. So the nighttime, there's something like really cool and solitude about the nighttime because no one can bother you. I would say I was most creative at night for this project. And then I just wake up straight in the morning and be like, what planet am I on?
What day is it?
No, I totally feel you because that's when I write the best is
at
stupid hours. So it's like, I don't know, there's some kind of energy about nighttime that just brings all the muses out, I think.
Yeah,
so that makes a lot of sense.
Because, I mean, it's a creative job, right? Whether it's writing like a script or writing music, we communicate with something over there. Like there's some kind
there's so much.
Yeah, there's some kind of external forces that get in that process. Like whatever you believe in, right? There's definitely something out there that we communicate with. Especially when we get those bursts of creativity. It's like, where are these bursts of creativity coming from? You don't really know.
Exactly.
I do feel like it is some kind of communication with some kind of external forces. We don't, we might not know exactly what that is, but the nighttime definitely brings that out.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes it'll be like when that happens, it's like you're not even in your body in a way. It's like something is communicating through you. And it's that whatever that is, external creative force that's like just funneling through you. And then you get to create music like you did for season 2. So I think it really shows in, that was the case, that those creative forces we're working for you. So
Oh, thank you for saying that. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely like a vessel of some sort. It's
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a huge privilege that we have these sort of
it's hard to explain.
hard to explain, but I mean that we're able to use ourselves as that medium to kind of get these emotions out in whatever way, whatever creative endeavors we want, whether it be you know, composing or writing, directing, like painting, drawing.
Yeah. I mean, you can see certain performers that do like on stage that have that, actors, and like musicians like Aurora. If you ever watch her live performances, they're insane. You can just tell she's channeling something from another dimension.
Yeah.
So,
and it's an interesting thing too with creativity, because you have to be in a very open place to get like an authentic kind of experience out. And we go through so many distractions in our day, right? So many other people's emotions, so many things that just disrupt the process. So I think it's just important to find those kind of experiences or things that just help ground us, whether it be like, you know, going to do some yoga or like working out, go take a walk. I mean, I know I can be better about those things, or like drinking coffee. I will drink coffee. That helps me. And playing with Callie.
It's inspiring. Callie agrees.
I love coffee though. Like I just got this manual espresso machine.
Love it.
Okay. Nice. Theora has to talk about. You want to talk about yours?
Are you a coffee person? Talk about yours.
I am an espresso person.
Yes, me
not
too.
Coffee. Espresso. It just works better for some reason. And I moved during the pandemic from Florida to California and drove because I have dogs. And one of the things that came in the car and not with the movers was the espresso machine, because there is no living without that thing. So it traveled.
No, there's really not.
There's no.
You need
it.
I mean,
it would have been bleak without it. I'm sorry.
You like. I feel like you really, once you have your own espresso machine, you just totally take, like, you can't go back to bad coffee shop. And when you go to a coffee shop, when you go to a specific coffee shop and it's not good, you're like, I don't know what they did. They had old beans, you know, or it was too hot. Yeah, too hot. They totally demolished this espresso.
I know, you get really judgmental I love for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be. It's what's
discerning is a better word. Discerning.
Discerning. I like it. Discerning. But you gotta check out the I don't know if you have a manual espresso machine, but I don't have a manual one. It's really satisfying because you see like the pressure amount, and then you have to kind of match it. Like there's a little guide, like, okay, it should be at 3 first, and then it should be at 6, and then you're manually pressing it down. And you're looking at the numbers, you're like, okay, am I hitting the numbers? Okay, no, it's going to be a good one. But it's fun
like
because
a game.
It is like a game. I mean, I'm getting a workout too, so it's not as hard for me to press it anymore. But
every day is arm day in Tangelene's house.
That's where I know too. But it's fun. It's fun though, because you're like, you can be like, I'm not scorching these beans. I'm doing like the right amount of hot water on it.
Absolutely.
You did it too. So there's that satisfaction element of just like, I made that.
Meanwhile, I'm over here just being like, okay, how can I maximize the caffeine amount and get it as quick as possible?
Oh no, are you like a 5-hour energy person?
No, but I have caffeine pills.
I guess that does a job too.
Yeah, Panera has this drink that has almost 400 milligrams of caffeine and 100 grams of sugar in it. The sugar part's not the good part, but the 400 milligrams is the good part.
Good? Okay, so I don't know if...
Oh, man.
Because Because you're not supposed to have more than like 300.
No, it's 400. It's 400.
No, I mean in a day you're not supposed to have more than 300.
No, I know. No, it's 400.
Okay.
I made sure. I want to be safe with the caffeine.
Okay. Well,
Just
you're
don't
safe.
drink more
That's
than
good.
one.
Oh, I
You
did that
better
one
be
day.
truthful. I was like, okay.
I did that one day because I took, well, one time I took it and I had 2 naps that day. And
See,
I was like,
that's the other problem with caffeine is I feel like if you have like ADD or anything, it's like it makes you fall asleep for some reason. Because
yeah.
I can have coffee and like go to bed. And I'm like, why am I drinking it to begin with if I can go take a nap?
Same.
I found that I have to have it just to be like a normal person. Because if I don't have
It's so
anything,
bad, right?
then I'm a zombie and I have to be in bed. But
Well,
if I have it, then I can be a normal person that
Takes
without
naps
coffee.
and
Kaitlynn and
functions.
Oh no.
Kaitlynn and I both have ADHD, and so the stimulants are good for the focusing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're all just normal functioning humans with the caffeine. But you know what like really freaks me out? How it's like the people who don't have caffeine and maybe just drink a tea every once in a while, they're like the most hyper people ever.
How?
And I'm like, how do you do it? How do you do it?
Give me
did I
your
have
secrets.
It's like, why did I have my first coffee when I was like 15? I should have never done that.
My mother warned me. I ignored it.
It's okay.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we should stop talking about caffeine and go back to music.
Yeah, we can talk about whatever you'd like.
So, rainbows. What's the first thing that popped into my head? Anyway, how do you name each track in the score?
Because I have a favorite name in the score.
Which one?
It is Flower Shop Spycraft.
Yeah, that's a cool name. Well, actually, okay, so my music editor, Kevin Crahan, he's the one who came up with the majority of the names. There's a couple here and there that I would change for the soundtrack, just to fit the flow better. There's a couple I changed. But he primarily came up with the names because, I mean, we can definitely talk about music editors because they're like a huge part of the process. They're kind of like the bridge between composers and picture editors. And they do so much, anything from like taking spotting notes and making sure like the composer's organized, has a list of all the different cues, because there can be a lot of cues, like, 30 cues sometimes. So it's just great to have them because we can focus, like the composer can focus on making sure we're really communicating with the showrunner and that there's even more notes being taken. I make sure to still take notes though, but it's great to have like that second opinion just on the conversations that go down in the spotting sessions. And then they'll deliver quick times for Simon to review for each cue once I write them. And then they make small adjustments too here and there to the cuts. When the cuts change later down the line, sometimes the cuts will change because of the heavy visual effects. I don't always work to all the visual effects because it's still being done. So later on, once there's maybe a few extra effects that maybe I didn't see, that will affect timing sometimes. So it's great to have a music editor because they can work to my stems. So basically all the audio files that I deliver, and then they can kind of make small adjustments and cuts to those stems. I know I got really technical, so let me know
that's
if anything.
cool.
No, this is great.
Okay.
This is the stuff we like.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which one do you remember? Which ones you renamed?
Which one did I rename? I think it was I think Crown of Thorns I renamed just to better like reflect what was happening in that episode. Because that was definitely like a big part of season 2 was, introducing this new relic. So I wanted to make sure that like I got that idea
Makes
across.
sense.
And and there might have been a couple more. I don't have the soundtrack in front of me.
I have it if you.
Okay, or I can pull it up too.
I loved Ava in Training. That's one of my favorite ones
that
to
name was the same.
write to.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
So the cool thing about Ava in Training was that was one that I wrote to the dailies. Which are like the daily footage that you get each when they're filming. I'm sorry, I can't properly pull this up right now. I just got a new laptop.
Oh.
So I'm
really?
Like, it's not
Are you Mac or PC?
I'm Mac.
She's gonna be Mac. She's a composer.
I'm sorry.
No, honestly, there are a lot of PC people who are composers too. Okay, I brought it up. Let's see what else. I mean, I didn't rename too many of them because Kevin just has a great titling scheme. I think it might have been just that one. And I might have like shortened a couple things because sometimes the way I like to score is I like to kind of combine cues too, so I can just like really shape the scene and kind of sculpt around things. So sometimes I like to make my cues a little longer. But I think it was just that one that I changed. Yeah, it's cool. Nice to have someone come up with titles because it's hard to.
Titles are hard, totally. So, what drew you to Warrior Nun, and is there anything that sets it apart from past projects you've done?
Well, I love the project because it kind of combines a lot of genres together. I love projects that are genre bending, and I definitely thought that Warrior Nun was genre bending. I also thought the effects were also like awesome, even starting from season 1. Like the effects were really top notch, and just in general, like it has amazing representation, and that was definitely something I noticed right off the bat too. Especially with like Beatrice, I was like, she's Asian. I was like, oh my gosh, she's Asian. And then like Shock and Mary, and just in general, like, the love element that we already were starting to feel between Beatrice and Ava. It just felt really genuine. And I love that nothing was just like, there was no agenda being pushed. And the fighting was incredible. I think it was just a mixture of a bunch of things that really drew me to it. And the coming of age element that was sprinkled in season 1 too, I gravitated towards.
Totally. Like, yeah, the whole Avatrice storyline really felt super organic, and they didn't rush it, which can ruin that chemistry. But it's sad that, like, once again, that we don't get to see where it goes yet. Maybe cross fingers.
Let's just keep saying when we get a season 3. I think we need
when we get a season 3. I like it.
Just speak it.
Yep.
Put it
Speak
out.
it into existence.
Yeah, but I'm happy that we at least got a taste of it in season 2, and that we felt, and even with the 8 episodes, that we were able to feel that kind of organic build. Because even 8 episodes isn't a lot of time to genuinely bring a relationship out in other series. So I think that's a huge testament to the writers, directors, and Simon, and just cast and crew, everyone kind of coming together with the passion for this project, because we're all really passionate about it.
It shows.
Took a village.
And as well as like the fandom too. I feel like you all are incredible. So just have to say
we try. It is a good one. Like I don't know. I haven't been like super into it like I was other fandoms, but this one has been a good one.
So this may or may not be a tricky question or a difficult question, but is there any piece that you composed from the show that was like your favorite?
I mean, I really did love Ava's Fall because in my mind, when I was writing it, I was picturing like an epic love story, like an old Hollywood epic love story, just by the way that the scene was composed and just, you know, the different angles. Um, that's just how I viewed them at that moment. I'm just like, I'm rooting for you two so hard right now. So I really do love that one just because you really feel their love in that moment. And I think that was a big one. And then the final scene was really heartbreaking to write. And I felt a lot of like vulnerability in that scene. And I wanted to make sure I mean, it came out pretty naturally for me to be vulnerable in that moment. And I feel like it's like something we can all relate to. And whether it's love, you know, like romantic love or family love, like even letting go of someone, a family member. It's like a universal moment, I think, that like anyone can relate to. So that was definitely a really vulnerable cue to write, and I love that one too. There's a bunch, but those two are definitely a couple.
Those two are very powerful as well.
When looking at your very impressive resume, we noticed that you worked on another show that our audience will definitely know, Motherland, Fort Salem, After the Storm. What was it like working on that, and how does it compare to Warrior Nun?
So I'm surprised you caught that. Yeah, so I didn't score the show, but of course, but I did like the behind the scenes, like they have like an after show series where they kind of like dissect each scene. So that was what I composed for. But it's cool because I actually was a fan of the show too at the time. And I remember I was talking to someone at Freeform and I told them, I'm like, oh, I love Motherland Fort Salem. And then they let me know, we have to do this like after show series. Would you be interested in scoring the after show series? And I was really excited. But I don't know, they have some similarities. And you know something funny? I think the sound designer is the same for Motherland Fort Salem and Paula and Warrior Nun, which is cool because there's a lot of really cool kind of like vocal manipulation aspects to Motherland Fort Salem. And there's a lot of cool like vocal elements in season 2 of Warrior Nun with the whole FBC. It's kind of like that weird chanty, but kind of feels like a sonic effect as well. And that's something that Paula did too. So in that sense, there's a similarity there. I know this because I looked up her IMDb and then I was like, oh, that's so cool. I can tie it together. And I mean, just in terms of amazing representation, on and off screen, I would say for Motherland Fort Salem.
Did you have a favorite character? Yeah, we actually started as a Motherland Fort Salem podcast.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing all those. You ran some really cool like fan questions on there. Yeah, some of those were pretty cool. But that got a season 3, and it's done now, right? I haven't caught up on the last season.
Did you have a favorite from Motherland?
Ooh, I like Scylla.
Good answer.
That
is the right answer.
Seriously, I have an entire wall of Scylla right
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah.
No
I
way.
call it the shrine.
We're like 6 now. I mean, I want to know what all your favorite characters are.
My friend crocheted this for me. It's Scylla in the dungeon.
Okay, I'm impressed.
Right? That's talent.
That's pretty incredible. Yeah, I would say Scylla. How about all you?
Good answer.
You know mine. Moving on.
Scylla.
We know Kaitlynn. Kaitlynn, say it.
Tally.
Oh, nice.
And Jess is the sweetest person
Jess,
ever.
actually, Jess is
That's
amazing.
the thing about Motherland. We got to like meet most of the cast, like either in person or, so it was really a cool experience. We have vlogs from when we were in Vancouver, and Jess and
I haven't seen
Olivia.
those. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That must have been so fun. They all seem so down to earth, which is really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But okay, Theora, it's your turn.
I love Nick de Batan, played by Arlen, specifically.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's
She
a
likes
fun
the
show.
bad girl. Well, okay, we both like the bad girls. Never mind.
I mean, Scylla started it, but Nick did the gig. She's
I
fun.
like the puppies.
Tally's a puppy. And so is Jess.
Oh,
Jess is
nice.
actually a puppy.
Jess is a puppy.
Jess is literally a puppy.
Jess is literally Tally, like in real life.
Yeah, she
It's
is.
just Jess on screen.
Oh,
She's sweet.
awesome. That's so funny. Yeah,
The
it's another one.
sweetest. Okay, we'll reel it in from our Motherland fangirling, but is there a specific instrument that you gravitate toward when you're starting to compose a score?
Piano.
That makes sense.
Piano, just because it's like it's my first instrument, and it's the cool thing with piano is like you can visualize basically a whole orchestra on the piano because you have all the low notes and the high notes, notes in the middle. I think it's just a cool way for me to like visualize the different sections and like the different ranges of piano.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
How many instruments do you play?
Good question.
I don't have like an exact number now because I like picked up so many on Warrior Nun. But I mean, definitely,
awesome.
definitely a lot. I mean, piano, guitar, voice. I did flute for a little bit when I was younger. I think it'd be really cool to learn the harp.
That would
I
be
agree.
cool.
I love harp.
Harp would be really cool.
Harp and cello are my favorites, but
cello, yeah, that's a really beautiful instrument.
because it's got such a deep kind of like, I don't know, it just makes me happy.
Yeah, it's like a chocolatey, dark.
Perfect description.
Yeah, but then it's really beautiful on the high notes too.
Smooth on the high notes, or is what
Yeah, if you have a good player.
Yeah, true.
Well, yes. I feel like that's true of most instruments.
I know.
Have
Like
you
the
said
obvious
anything and you'll
thing,
say,
right?
"Oh, that sounds awful."
Because it was not true of clarinet when I played that in band.
Oh no. A similar thing with me in the flute because I played it in band, and I remember it was like a flute my mom had gotten from a garage sale, and I remember playing it, and the
Shut
end
up!
part
That's where my clarinet came from.
from a garage sale too.
Yes. What the hell?
But the end of it flew off in my concert.
No way.
Yeah, and I was
Wasn't meant
like,
to be.
no. That happened.
No more flutes.
I
Yeah,
still
one day
have
my
a
mom
flute.
came home. Do you?
Yeah, actually, no, I
Oh my
did use
God.
it on Warrior Nun too, with some of like the water phony, like reverse things I did. Yeah, sometimes you would hear it was either like the water phone or like I did like an overblown type of flute thing, and then I like put a bunch of like external processing on it. So with reverb
That's
too.
cool.
So you wouldn't quite know it was a flute. But I want to get back to like being able to properly play it, not just do effects.
Fair.
Maybe
We believe
clarinet,
in you.
me and you, clarinet and flute. We can get back to it. Not
Oh
sound
my
bad.
God, not the reeds again. Not the reeds.
Oh, see, that's clarinet's harder because of that. I would
Yeah,
say.
I freaking hate those things. I always
I
cut
can't play
myself with
anything.
them.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, do you both play anything? No.
Theora plays the lacrosse.
Yeah, I play sports.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I
I can
definitely.
kind of sing. Does that count?
You can definitely
Yes,
sing,
it
Kaitlynn.
does. I want to hear.
That's about it.
No, it's not.
Stay here long enough and you will. Just throw out a song lyric and she will sing it. I promise.
Let it go. Let it go.
Let it
Come-
go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go.
Yeah, you are good.
Let it
Right?
Like, see, it's hard to get me to stop though. Like you
Yeah.
can't get me
Okay,
started and stop.
We're done now, Kaitlynn. Back to the questions.
You sound like a Disney character in a good
Right.
way.
Oh, thank you.
You could sing for Disney. You sound beautiful.
Thank
I love
you.
it.
We found a new career path for you.
Yeah.
You can thank Tangelene.
Yeah, I'll call you up tomorrow. But I need a new Disney melody.
There you go. Perfect.
All right. Speaking of TV and film, so you seem to be a connoisseur of those things, and we're kind of wondering if that impacted. Thank you. We're wondering if like that impacted you in any way, or translated into like your love of music and composing in any way.
For playing, you said for like has my love for instruments and playing.
I guess like
I don't know
has
if I heard
like
that
because like
correctly.
okay, so TV and film, how has that like impacted you in general? Like, has it? And then did it translate into like music and composing for TV / film?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, growing up, I think watching just movies, I guess. The fun thing about it is you can kind of escape from reality for a little bit, you know? And I feel like as kids, especially, we're dealing with so many different emotions. We don't always properly know how to express that through words. So
I feel that.
So putting on like a movie and then just like getting the chance to kind of put yourself in the perspective of like another character for a little bit, it can like really transform your perspectives just on other people, and it can help comfort you in kind of those moments where you don't know how to properly express yourself. So that definitely links to film scoring because that's like my medium for expressing myself. I was also like a really shy kid growing up. I definitely got out of that though. Like I would say I'm kind of introverted and extroverted now. But I mean, when you are struggling to kind of figure out how you want to say something or show your voice, it's great to have that creative medium. So yeah, writing music is definitely that for me. And I try to kind of use it as a way to help people understand certain characters and like tell the truth of each character and to not like judge each character too, because I think it's important for I don't know, for us to just properly reflect each of their experiences in the most genuine way that we can.
I love how you said that about being a shy kid and then kind of that changing over time, because that's like, I think an introverted extrovert is I think what they call it, but that's totally relatable. And I was super shy, wouldn't talk to anybody as a kid. So because there's anxiety around how, like you said, how you say things or how you want to say things. And music is such a great way to like find the ways to say things. So I think it's really cool that you had that as a kid.
Yeah, I think that's why, yeah, anything, oh my, your kitty's so cute. Anything creative is just,
I'm sorry, she's mad because I moved. I moved and she's mad.
but what, that doesn't sound like a mad, yeah, like a, what do you call that?
She's just
it's not
like
a meow, it's like a,
it's a growl. She's like a cat growl, but ma'am, stop being grumpy. I'm sorry.
so cute. Basically, I love creative people. Oh my god. You have to do like an ASMR channel with your
Your cat being.
She's actually happy right now, and I don't like. Don't worry, I'm not in danger. She's there. She goes.
Oh,
Not anymore.
that's the thing with torties. They are so cuddly and then they like spring off you like crazy.
Yeah, she uses me as a conduit to get to anywhere in the house that's high up. So she'll just jump on my shoulder and be like, "Yes, human, I will."
I will attest to it. I was there and I was a bridge for her to get to a table.
A bridge. The worst is when they jump on your stomach because that hurts so bad.
Absolutely. Or they're on you and then they use your stomach as a springboard.
The springboard, yeah. It's especially in the middle of the night. That's fun too. When you wake up and then you're like,
3 in the
why am I
morning
in so much pain?
I just get woken up with a dog licking my nose.
Oh, dogs are so cute. Is it a small dog or a big dog?
This is Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, hi.
Bristol, come here.
Oh, you have two?
Those two tiny ones.
Oh wait, we're doing dog show and tell? Hold on.
Come here.
Bree, you have a dog too?
Her mom's dog.
This is Bristol.
Oh.
And this is Brooke.
And Otis.
Where's
Otis the
Otis?
POTUS.
Oh, Otis.
The pug.
I just like staring at them. Oh. I
And
love
then
animals.
Theora has 2 dogs, Kinja and Suki.
I'm not going to go get them, though, because they're being quiet right now.
You're like, okay, this is a rare occasion.
They were barking earlier.
I really want a dog. I want a corgi.
I knew you were going to say
bad.
corgi.
Really?
Everyone
predictable.
I know is getting corgis right now.
I know, that's the thing. So
Okay, go.
that's the thing. Is like everyone wants a corgi, but I'm like, maybe I should give other dogs a chance. So. But they're so cute. Their butts.
They are.
Fluffy butts.
Yeah.
I think there's like
love
a corgi cafe somewhere in LA.
No way.
I think so, too. I think there is.
Yeah, you've
You're
heard
right.
of this spot?
Well, that's a place
It's
to
like,
go.
It's like Jiggly Foods and
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that, but yeah, that makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
check it out.
Yeah. Let us know how it is.
I will.
The Corgo Cafo.
We're really good at getting off topic, if you can't tell.
Hey, I love getting off topic. So,
But
fine
I
by me.
have an odd question.
Sure.
Like, I haven't been asking odd questions this whole time. Do you ever find yourself composing your day in your head? Like, you are walking down the street and have superhero music in your head. He said it was odd.
No, I mean, I feel like I should do this now. I can really like get,
Just
I feel
be
probably
like, this totally intense music, just be like, I'm on a mission.
that's awesome. I want more music in my head like that. I feel like I could like
Wouldn't
get
our
through my
days
day
be
better.
better with music in our head? Like your whole
Yeah.
day scored?
I would say, music. I have music in my head more when I'm in the shower
What
That
is
makes
that?
sense.
with writing too. I don't
Uh-huh.
know why.
That's why I used to
why
have
that
shower
is.
crayons.
Oh, that's so smart. Wait, shower crayons. do you have like a board in there too?
No, you just write on the wall, so you can remove it afterwards, but you write with the crayons. I mean, it could work with music.
Ooh, that's a good
if you
idea.
were, yeah.
But I do the voice recorder. But see, if you're in the
That's
shower
always
and you
good.
jump out, it's like
Exactly.
that's kind of awkward. So maybe I'll have to get these crayons. Yeah, shower. It usually comes to my mind probably because I had written a bunch that day and I realized, okay, I need to get up early and finish this. How can I continue this process?
Mhm.
Not at my desk. I guess that's the cool thing about like writing and music, and you can still do that when you're not at your computer or at your desk.
Well, they say that getting in the shower or the bath if you're trying to have a creative process go, like breaking it up by getting in the shower or the bath usually kind of restarts your brain into that. So, you know, makes sense in that regard, but
there's no distractions.
Yeah, I think it is you time. Any chance to like step away. I think that's something we can all do more of, right? Is when we start getting that like overthinking sort of vibe,
reset
to go, okay, I need to reset, step away from my desk.
Absolutely. That's good advice. Good advice from Tangelene. We should just have a whole segment, Tangelene's Advice Corner.
I mean, well, I appreciate you saying that. I can give myself more advice.
There you go.
Reminder to give playback. I'll just keep playing this podcast.
I'm like, damn, I'm right. I should listen to me.
Exactly.
I know, I should. But I would say definitely, yeah, like stepping away when you start overthinking things. But then this is the problem, right? You step away, stop overthinking things, and then you go downstairs and like make a coffee. And then you're back in that anxious state because you've had too much coffee.
It's a vicious cycle is what we're learning.
It's a vicious cycle.
It all comes back to coffee.
It does.
Yeah.
Stimulants, if you will.
I got this coffee cup.
That's really cool.
For Christmas. And it like apparently makes things smell like it's like an aroma cup. Like enhances aroma. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is this something that like I just didn't know about?
I didn't know about that for like coffee. Like I know wine glasses are designed that way to aerate them for like taste and aroma. But with coffee, it does look a great idea. Looks like a vase.
Look like a flower pot.
It does.
Yeah, it looks like a mini flower pot, right?
It does a little bit, but that's why I like it. She's like, oh, great candle, Tangelene.
She's taking sips and be like,
she's drinking her flowers.
Nitrogen. It's good for you. I don't know.
If you like it, I guess, as long as it doesn't hurt you.
Honestly, it's tea at the end of the day, is if you put flowers in water.
Oh, but then you get the roots, like root water.
Yeah, we don't like that.
No.
Just definitely don't use manure for it.
Ew. I'm so...
Kaitlynn, why? Stick to coffee, Kaitlynn.
I'm just my brain, okay? I will reel it back in. It broke. No. The string broke. I can't reel it back in anymore.
You don't need to reel it back in. We separate you for who you are, okay?
Exactly.
Even if you talk about plant manure.
Tangelene's Advice Corner. There you go.
Exactly. See, you've already got another episode of The Corner.
We accept you for who you are, even if you talk about plant manure.
Perfect.
There you go.
I love it.
You heard it here first, everyone.
But speaking of giving yourself good advice, I guess, sort of in a way, this segue is weird. We're just going to go with the question. What are you most proud of in your career?
I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, but I would say Warrior Nun. Because, I really didn't know if I was going to get the opportunity or not. And then when you get a really big opportunity like this, a part of that process is definitely getting through that imposter syndrome element of it. And
Absolutely.
I'm lucky that I was brought on board so early, because I was able to kind of get through that phase of, oh, am I good enough to do this? Or like, and I came on for season 2 as well. So there was that element to it, going on to be with a whole new team that has already known each other for season 1. Yeah, just kind of being able to get through that hump of, oh yeah, I was hired for a reason. I'm gonna, give my all to this. I'm trusted to kind of give my take on how I want to go about the music, and to just really like develop that trust in myself. So I'm proud for that, for gaining the confidence and the trust in myself to say, everyone's trusting of me, so I need to trust myself.
Absolutely. More good advice from Tangelene.
Just we're on a roll.
You're on a roll for sure. No, that's awesome. And as I think especially Theora and I are very familiar with imposter syndrome.
Absolutely.
So
it's not the best.
Why did you exclude me from that? I definitely have.
I didn't want to speak for you.
Going on.
Imposter syndrome is universal, honestly.
It is universal.
It's universal.
Yeah.
Just not everyone talks about it.
You don't have it.
Oh no, I definitely have it.
Yeah, you do.
Oh.
Yeah, like very bad.
Well, you should try. You all should try to. I mean, I'm sure you're all trying to get past it, and it's tough too, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's different levels of it too. Once you crush certain goals, it might linger back again. Yeah, but I mean, how are you all trying to get through it? Like, I'm always trying to
talk to these goobers.
Yeah, literally.
Like these two.
I mean,
motivational friends.
Through doing this, we've all become super close, and then once we got to meet in person, it was even more so. So
they're my family.
I mean, because I met Kaitlynn in person when we did a convention.
Mm-hmm.
So for Motherland, actually, well, it was for other stuff too, but I was there for Motherland to do like panels and stuff. And then Theora we hadn't met, and then we got to meet Theora, and she's just as dorky as we are.
Surprise.
Dorky is good.
It is.
But though, with the imposter syndrome, though, like, yeah, having external support is helpful, but really, like, it's one of those things where it's like you have to convince you, and convincing you that you're good enough is sometimes the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're hardest on ourselves. It's like that perfectionism thing that gets kind of like taught to us in America a lot. And it's hard to like be like, yeah, no, I'm good enough. Like sometimes you just need to like break your own barriers or whatever. Like nail a project like this to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can do this. Have that validation for yourself. It's a process.
Yeah. The validation is definitely one thing. And then sometimes, honestly, you just have to tell yourself. You just have, it's almost like you have to convince yourself. You have to be that friend who is like, no, you are good enough. And then you're like, well, is that true? Like, I don't know if I believe it. You have to be that friend saying you're good enough. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to like believe it. Sometimes it takes that just forcing yourself to believe it.
Trust
and
yourself.
Then you will. Exactly. And then you'll just become what you keep telling yourself. So it's hard, and sometimes you don't want to accept that, but because
I have to say this podcast really helps, because I'm proud of them, so that means I have to be proud of myself.
Well, and we all have day jobs, so then we come and do this, and it's like, I don't know, sometimes I get imposter syndrome being like, am I even good at this stuff? Like, should I just stick to what I do every day at work? But yeah. So totally feel you.
I know what you mean. Like, am I good enough? But I think the most important thing to tell ourselves, right, is like, all we society always tells us to compare ourselves to everyone too, and which is like the worst thing to do, because like how can I compare myself to someone who has like a completely different background than me? Like we have completely different personalities, completely different experiences. So just knowing that like you're the only person like you that exists, and no one else can be that. So that alone is already like such a superpower, that, you know, you're this unique individual. All your experiences are yours. Everything you've gone through is yours. All your take on the world is just yours. So maybe something for us to remember.
Are you sure you're not a therapist?
No.
Can never be too short. So, looking ahead to the future, what is something you dream of doing one day? It can be career oriented or not.
I think it'd be really cool to like compose music for like an Asian superhero. Well, I mean,
Yes.
Beatrice is sexy.
She technically is.
I mean, yeah. But I don't know, just to continue working on projects with like amazing representation, amazing, well-written stories, amazing people. Yeah, and to just keep pushing myself musically. I don't know if I have one specific goal in mind, but
play the flute.
Yeah, play the flute. Okay, that's a good one. Maybe learn some new instruments. Definitely learn
until you've mastered all of them.
Every single one in the world.
All of them.
Okay, don't say that.
Tangelene is learning the flugelhorn.
The flugelhorn. Oh my gosh.
The party thing, the party horn. You have to figure out how to make that sound amazing.
Okay.
Good luck.
Listen.
Challenge accepted.
I'll write that down. Wait, like
yeah,
for a party,
like the ones you get and you blow, and they're like so loud and obnoxious.
Oh, at the World Cup, you mean?
Okay, maybe
no, like for New Year's.
Yeah,
it can be used for the obnoxious sound for whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
Someday.
Something someday.
That's so weird.
Hey, at least you didn't say
don't need to be
the
achievable.
Washboard.
No, not at all. Yeah. It's a dream.
Because people actually do play washboards.
I know.
Huh?
But
what can you do?
Anything boat is nice, though.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. I do love me, like we said, cello and violin.
Bow. I heard bone, and I was really confused.
Bone!
Tangelene's over here, like, getting bone instruments. Yeah, that's...
But you know, I've heard people buy bones and, like, play them, which is kind of creepy.
Play them.
No, like, legit bones. That would be creepy.
That is creepy. Unless it's I'm gonna guess
they're animal bones. I hope they're animal bones. This just got dark.
About that. Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Kaitlynn, do your thing.
Wipe the sleep.
It's Caitlin's turn.
It's always you, Kaitlynn.
It is. It is though. Those are facts.
You picked up on that because
it is.
She has a reputation. We'll just put it that way.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Kaitlynn needs to be like a story in like one of your scripts, Bree.
Oh,
yes.
You need to be a character.
I'll write an entire short film about Kate. Well, Caitlynn's already got a documentary, so I don't know if, like, literally, she has a documentary.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Cool. You gotta link it.
Yeah. It's something.
Tell her what it's called.
It's called Homeless Chronicles.
Ooh, okay. We gotta link it so we can all check it out.
Yeah. Kaitlynn. My mother watched it and loved it.
There you go. So you gotta link it.
Yeah, it's also on it's on YouTube to let other people see it for free because I felt like it was an important thing for people to know about like youth homelessness.
Oh. Well, thanks for putting that out. You gotta link it so we can all check it out.
Okay. I've been told to link it, so now it's linked. Theora, that's your job. It's all you.
Okay.
Okay, let's check in. How is Callie doing? I don't know where she is, but that was like a sad note, kind of like a somber note. So I was like trying to bring it back around to cats.
Callie, luckily, like Theora, when you hear that your animal's being good, you're just gonna trust that they're okay.
Yeah, Callie's doing great.
Unless it's my cat, and then he's opening. There you go.
Opening doors,
yeah.
Learn it was skills. Really great to meet you and get distracted with you. Do you have any final words for the listeners at home before we wrap up?
Any final words? Well, thank you all. Thank you, Warrior Nun fandom, for being so incredible, getting that billboard and putting that up. That's incredible. And I know you're all so talented and creative, and I love seeing, all the edits on Twitter and the art, and music, and just keep doing what you do because, yeah, we all need more of this in the world. So, love you all.
Agreed.
I'm going to speak on behalf of everybody. We love you too.
No.
And specifically us.
And I was going to say, I love you three too.
Thank you.
It's mutual. So.
I thought Bree was going to say, it's just me.
Wow. Wow. Kaitlynn, putting that out into the universe.
Oh my God.
Nah, Bree would never say that. So everyone at home listening, make sure to check out Warrior Nun streaming on Netflix, and we'll see you next time.
And go listen to Tangelene's score.
Yes.
Because it's amazing.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all for having me.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube. Please leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing, super gay content.
If you'd like to support us, check out our merch store, or join our Patreon for early access to episodes, exclusive content, and so much more.
Until next time, stay safe and hydrate for lesbian Jesus.